right, Assalamu alaikum. Good morning. How are you today?
Fine.
Very good, very good. All right, we'll start today with some revision of what the things that we've studied so far throughout this course. And today we'll focus on some sentence problems that I would like you to pay attention to. This is a kind of feedback that I'd like to give you on some of your writing problems that I've seen in your writings, and also to highlight some issues that you need to pay attention to whenever you are writing your paragraphs. These issues related to sentence problems, for example, subject-verb agreement, noun-pronoun agreement, issues that have to do with punctuation, such as using commas, such as using colons, and so on. So it's going to be a lot of practice today trying to cast light on some of the issues that you need to pay attention to. So let's look at the first example and the first sentence here in this slide, and let's identify the problem or problems that you can see in this example. Let's see. All over the country, people sell products over the internet, comma, these people are making impressive profits. Do you see any problems here? Do you see any problems here? No, just read it, just read it. This is a kind of sort of reflecting on some of your writings and trying to identify and or locate some of the issues that you need to pay attention to. All right? All over the country, people sell products over the internet, comma, these people are making impressive gains or impressive profits. Yes, please.
A and O.
Okay, so all, so we have to use a capital letter. Just remember this. And this is one of the capitalization rules. That is to say, we need to start a sentence with a capital letter, the first letter of the first word. Done. Yes, please. All right. Yes, this is the biggest problem here, and we talked about this. That what we see here is a comma splice. This is a sentence problem. This is a punctuation problem. We have two sentences here, and there is only a comma between them, and this is a sentence problem that we talked about it before, that this is a comma splice. How do we fix it? Very easy things. Yes, please. Okay. Alright, so we can just replace a comma with a full stop and start a new sentence. Okay. There is another way, which is a comma and or so or yet or but whatever, or just adding a coordinator or a fanboy connector. Okay, so all over the country, people sell products over the internet. Full stop. We finished the idea, finished the sentence. These people are making impressive profits. I could also use a comma here.
Yes, I do. Yes.
Alright, this is an introductory phrase that we said. All over the country, comma, people are, or people sell products over the internet. Okay, let's see the second example and identify any problems here in this second example, and then I'll give you a chance to go over the remaining sentences. Finally, Facebook help you to find people who lost communicate with them. All right. Yes, please. Okay, so finally, capital letter, comma, Facebook. It's a one, so it's a spelling problem. Okay, and Facebook has to be capital letter as well. So Facebook. It's one word, capitalized. Help. Helps. So what we see here is a subject-verb agreement problem. And this is very common. Almost 60% of your mistakes relate to subject-verb agreement problem. Okay? So finally, Facebook helps you to find people who lost communicate with you. Is there a problem here? What is the problem here? Does it make any sense? No. Is it grammatically correct?
Who loses? Communication.
Okay, so there is a problem with the sentence structure, and again, the verb and the subject-verb agreement. How can we fix it? Who lost communicating, communicate with you?
Communication. Who loses?
You can change it. Who you lose or who you lost communication. I could just say who Facebook helps you to find people who you lost communication. Well, as simple as that. Who you lost communication or whom you lost communication with. Now it is grammatically correct. We have a relative clause and we have a clear structure. Whom you lost communication or who you lost communication with. Alright? Right. Now, I'll just give you a couple of minutes to look at the remaining 3 sentences here in this slide and try to locate any problems that you see in these 3 sentences. Yes, please. And of course, you can take some notes. Let's see. Number 3. My friend Larry has a bad habit. He never on time for or to anything, arrives 10 minutes late everywhere. Clearly there are some problems here. The first problem is, yes please. Okay, so there is a missing verb. Okay, he is never, so we need a verb here. So he is never on time to anything. Arrives 10 minutes late. He arrives in, and here what we see is a missing subject. Alright, he is, he arrives, very good. He arrives 10 minutes late everywhere. And what we see here is now 3 simple, very short sentences. We can actually combine them, but this is a different story. We'll talk about it later. So the problem here is there is a missing verb and there is a missing subject, and this is something that we need to avoid. Alright, number 4. Gaza streets have a big traffic problems, comma, that make the street more dangerous. Clearly there is a problem, clear problem here, which is, okay, Gaza has to be capital letter. Capital has to be beginning with a sentence, yes. Okay, this is also another common problem I see, which is, okay, confusing plural with singular nouns and verbs and pronouns and so on. So this is something we talked about it. It's number agreement. Okay, a big traffic problem, big traffic problems. One problem, some problems, and so on. So what we see, and have a big traffic problem. That comma that street more, that make the streets more dangerous. Just one little note is that we don't need a comma before that. Just remember this. We don't need, or we don't put a comma before that. That doesn't take commas. In terms of punctuation, it does not take any comma before or after it immediately. That make the street or make the streets. Because we're talking about the streets. Okay, that make the streets more dangerous. Okay? So if we can say number 4, problem number 4 is something we just said, number agreement. Number agreement is very common, so we need to avoid it. Number agreement, this is a very common problem. Let's see number 5. Number 5. In concluding, the government must work hard to solve these problems.
Yes.
All right. And yes, please.
In concluding, comma.
All right. So.
Must what?
Okay. So in concluding, but again, yes, we need a comma here. But can we say in concluding or in conclusion? In conclusion. So this is another problem in forming the word correctly with the transition. So in conclusion, comma. or to conclude.
Yes.
All right, to conclude or in conclusion. Remember this, I've seen quite a few mistakes in this. The government, the small letter. The government must work hard to solve these problems, or this problem. Again, the number agreement is very important to pay attention to whenever you are writing. So we can add here number 4. Number 5, avoid missing verbs and or subjects. Okay, this is concerning example number 4. Okay, make sure that every sentence has a subject, has a clear subject and a clear verbs. Let's continue with the remaining sentences, and again the idea here is to identify the problems that you actually see here in these examples of your writings. Alright, let's see, number 6. Yes, please, over there.
There are some negative effects.
Okay, so what we see here is a missing. There are some negative effects of unemployment on society.
Full stop.
Full stop, yes. Notice that I just stopped here because the idea is complete. So I have to clearly demarcate the sentence. So end of the sentence, full stop. Alright, and then capitalize first of all unemployment cause. Okay, very good. Small letter. And we have unemployment causes subject-verb agreement. Subject-verb agreement. Unemployment causes country economic. Okay, so there is a problem with ordering the different parts of a speech. Destroying the economy of a country, or a country's economy, or causes the destruction of a country's economy. Very nice. So destroy causes destruction or destroying a country's economy. Now it is correct. Or the economy of a country, or causes the destruction of a country's economy. Alright? Let's see number 7. Visitors can see many interesting places in Egypt, full stop. For example, the pyramids. We talked about this in one of the subjects, in one of the courses previously. So where's the problem here? Yes, please. The second part. Can we actually consider it a sentence first? No. It is what we said, a fragment. It's a fragment. That is to say, it is not a complete sentence. The first sentence is perfect. There is nothing wrong with it. The problem is with the second part. The pyramids. Is this a sentence? No. Okay, so the solution is to change it into a sentence. We can say,
They can see.
for example, they can see the pyramids. Okay, they can see the pyramids. Or
The pyramids, what they can
the pyramids are one of these places that can be. Or we can see alternatively, we can just change full stop into a comma. And now we see, for example, noun phrase, comma, comma. Is this clear? Yes, this is another solution for it. Comma, comma, the pyramids, for example, the pyramids. Or, alternatively, we can put full stop, for example, they can see the pyramids. Okay, just remember, I focus too much on punctuation because I think punctuation is very much like traffic lights. They tell us when to stop, when to pause, momentarily, when to go on. They help clarify the ideas, okay, and the different ideas in the text. And for example, yes, for example, comma, comma. All right. Let's see number 8.
Yes.
Second, the negative effects of the pollution on the environment.
Yes.
All right. What do you see? What problem do you see here?
Fragment.
Again, it is very nice. It is a fragment. Why is it a fragment?
It's not complete.
It is not complete. Where is the verb? Look for the verb. There is no verb. So change it into a sentence. We can say there are some negative, or there are the negative effects of pollution on the environment, or the negative effects of pollution on the environment are harmful. Very nice. Harmful. Are harmful to human health. Okay, to people's health. Okay, all right. So we change it into a complete sentence. All right. So avoid a fragment. This is something that also I see in some of your writing. Okay. So go over the class on fragments and how you avoid fragments and what kinds of fragments that we can that we discussed, and try to avoid this. The last sentence here is. University is more difficult than high school. It depends on students to study hard to get marks. Again, there is a problem with punctuation here. There's a problem with punctuation with another topic that we talked about previously. University is more difficult than high school. It depends on students to study hard to get marks. Yes, please. University clearly has to be capitalized. Yes.
After school.
After high school, we need a
Full
stop. This is something that we said before. It is a run-on sentence. Run-on sentence problem. When you have two sentences with no punctuation between them, then we have a run-on sentence.
It depends.
Depends. So if we list it, so number 6 is avoid run-on sentence error. Sentence error. Okay? You have to avoid run-on sentences. No punctuation between the sentences. And number 7 is avoid, of course, sentence fragments. Sentence fragments. This is also something that you need to pay very much attention to, because these are serious problems at the sentence level that you need to avoid. Is this clear? So what we've done so far is identifying 7 common problems at the sentence level. Avoid subject-verb agreement, problems in subject-verb agreement. Make sure that you always capitalize where necessary, especially at the beginning of sentences. Okay? The third one is avoid making comma splice. 2 sentences with a comma between them only. This is wrong. Number agreement. Okay? Avoid missing verbs. Every sentence has to have a subject and a verb. Then avoid run-on sentences and sentence fragments. Is this clear? Alright, because I expect you to really avoid these kinds of problems almost all the time. Of course, yes, please.
Second, negative effects of the pollution, not of the pollution.
Of pollution, yes, of course. Alright, of pollution. We don't need a different article here. It just needs a 0 article. Very nice, very nice. Alright, now let's do another thing. Remember we talked about comparison contrast, and we used, if you remember, some transitions with comparison contrast. For example, despite, different from, differ from, similarly, also, like to, and so on. This is another exercise. What I'd like you to do is to read the paragraph and complete this paragraph with the suitable transitions, which are difference, despite, however, different, in contrast, whereas, also, and because. Okay, so please quickly read it and fill in the blanks with the suitable transition word or phrase. Just remember always the grammar always helps you, alright? So check if you need an adjective here, a verb, a noun, an adverb, and so on. The grammar always helps you in choosing the correct signal, the correct transition. Difficult? No. Okay. All right. If it's not difficult, let's do that. Let's answer the paragraph. Yes. Yes, Iman, please.
Yes.
Reading.
Reading a book is always much better than watching a movie based on a book.
Full stop.
Despite.
Do you agree with Iman that we need despite here?
Yes.
Why is that?
There is a
Why not however or whereas or also or because? Remember, despite is always followed by a phrase, never a complete sentence. Okay?
Yes.
Okay, so despite that saying a picture is worth a thousand words, this is a phrase. Okay, despite. Alright? A book is able, very nice, Amen. A book is able to give much information that a movie can give. Who would like to continue? Yes, please. The author can also give. Very good. The thoughts of characters. Okay, however. Why however? The punctuation. I cannot use whereas here because clearly however is the right place because of the punctuation. Alright? So I need either however or in contrast. Yes. Yes, because they are or they take the same kind of punctuation. They're actually adverbials. Okay? We call them adverbials. Okay? So, because the punctuation here, semicolon and comma. I cannot use whereas here. I have to use however or in contrast. A movie usually conveys only the actions and words of the characters. I would like to continue. A book can follow the characters and plot lines, comma. A movie usually. So it has to be?
Yes.
We studied this, alright? So whereas a movie has less than 2 hours to tell the story and must follow one plot line. Okay, the final difference. Yes, why? Because I need a noun here. The final article or determiner, adjective, and then noun is. So the final difference is notice the punctuation and the grammar here. The final difference. I need a noun here. The final difference is one of imagination. Each book's character can create a mental picture. Is that right? A different. I need an adjective.
Yes.
Can create a different
mental picture.
a different mental picture of the characters. A movie, comma, can offer only the vision of the characters of the director, either, however, or in contrast. Both. A movie, however, why is however here? Because it is within the same sentence. We talked about this. If it is within the same sentence, we can just use comma instead of semicolons and comma. Right? So again, the idea here is always look for the grammar and look for the punctuation whenever you read these kinds of questions. Okay? Because every transition has a particular way of punctuation and usage in the paragraph. Is this clear? Yes. All right. Let's see a third activity here. And still we're talking about transitions. And it's an easy one. We just need to read the sentence and choose the correct transition in this for this sentence. All right? Are we done? Yes. We'd like to do this one. Distance education is a kind of learning that takes place when the student is in a location away from the classroom building or site. Online courses are distant learning courses, so it has to be. For instance, is that correct? Yes. For instance is the correct one. All right? Because this one is an example of the other one. Okay? This one is actually an example of the other one. And again, the punctuation, semicolon, and comma. So we only have to use for instance, not similarity to. This is not correct. Okay, so it is for instance is the correct choice. You see the second one. Now, again, we're talking about punctuation. Choose the sentence that is punctuated correctly. Read them carefully and notice the punctuation marks. Which sentence is the one that is correctly punctuated? Which do you think is the correctly punctuated sentences, please?
The first.
The first one?
Yes.
Yes, it is
There's
the
an
first one.
exclamation.
Why is that?
Extra information.
Yes, we said that with relative clauses, if they are extra information, we just separate them from the rest of the sentence using extra information. Okay? So, whereas the second one, it is not punctuated correctly. Neither the third nor the fourth sentence is correctly punctuated. So the first one is actually the one that has the correct punctuation marks. Okay? All right. Do we have another question? Yes. Select the one that is not a fragment. All of them are fragments except one of them is not. So select the sentence that is not a fragment. All right, are we finished? Okay, that's good. Yes, please. The second one? Yes. Do you agree?
Yes.
Who thinks that the first one is the correct one? No. Clearly, it is number 2. That is the correct. That is not a fragment. Why is that? We have a prepositional phrase, and then we have a complete sentence, and so we have a complete idea. Whereas number 1, it's only a dependent clause. It's not a complete sentence. And number 3, again, number 4 are dependent clauses. They are not complete sentences. They don't express a complete idea. Okay? All right. Let's finish with this last question. And this one is just to ask you to punctuate the sentences correctly. All right? So apply or some of the punctuation rules that you learned in the previous lectures in punctuating these ones. You can take notes, of course, you can take some notes of this. Who would like to come here and punctuate these ones? Yes, please. Let's see, and yes, please. And see if we agree with our classmates here, if she corrected them or punctuated them correctly. Karen, okay.
Karen, 3 favorite food are pasta.
Okay, pizza.
And ice cream.
But
her friend loves only
pasta and chocolate cake. All right.
Yes.
Is that all? No. A few more things. Karen has to be capitalized. Okay. Is that all? No. Nair said something else, which is? And okay, this is optional. We said that, and here, thank you. And here is optional. Okay, so we can put it or we can divide. Still, there's one more punctuation mark, which is. Oh, you can stay here.
And the national capital.
Okay, with her French. Yes. Yes, it is capitalized. Okay. So Karen's 3 favorite foods are pasta, pizza, and ice cream. But her French friend loves only pasta and chocolate cake. Can I put here a colon after R?
Yes.
No?
No.
No, because there is already a verb, so there is no need for a colon here. Because we already have the verb, and the verb will do what a colon does, actually. All right? Let's see the second one.
Yes.
The National Shakespeare Company would perform the following plays: Ophelia, Macbeth, and Macbeth, and Hamlet. Okay? Yes, please. Yes. Okay, sorry. Okay.
Capitalized.
Okay, so the
national
T is capitalized. Shakespeare. But don't forget to capitalize Shakespeare, SNH. Alright?
Our company
Will perform the following plays. And alright, okay. You took care of the commas, but still we need to take care of some other things. Alright? Yes, please. We need to take care of capital letters as well. So Ophelia, okay, comma, Macbeth, alright, comma, and Hamlet. Hamlet is H, of course. Alright. Hamlet. Is that correct? And again, the national and company. It's the name of an institution. Okay? So the National Shakespeare Company will perform the following plays. Colon. Now, you forgot the colon. And this is sort of like, this is what I'm actually looking for. Okay, you should review the rules on using colons, because I'm introducing a list of things, so you have to put the colons here. Okay, the National Shakespeare Company will perform the following plays: colon, Ophelia, Macbeth, and Hamlet. Capital letter, capital letter, capital. Don't forget that. Let's see. Number 3. While working out, she discovered an amazing fact. She was now able to bench press 10 pounds more than the week before.
Can I?
Yes, Adi. Okay, you can just tell me what I have to do here. Y is capitalized. No, I think there's some more than that. It's okay. It's a verb, sort of an adjective. It's a verb. It's sort of a compound verb. All right, but there is something else I have to do.
While we were working out.
While working out. Okay. She discovered an amazing fact. Or we can say a colon, because here I'm introducing this fact. Okay? She discovered an amazing fact. What is this amazing fact? She was now able to bench press 10 pounds more than the week before. Notice that I use the colon here because clearly I'm explaining that fact, which is being able to bench press 10 times. Okay?
We have to capitalize S after colon. She.
No, it's after. No, you don't need to capitalize this. So as you can see, you actually have to go and review and revise rules on using colons and using commas and using semicolons. Alright, ماشي الحال? Okay, alright, so far what we've done today is just going very quickly over some of the common issues, common problems that you need to pay attention to, such as subject-verb agreement, comma use, comma splice, run on, using colons, okay, and so on and so forth. For next time, take this as a homework, okay? What you need to do is to read the paragraph and complete the sentence, the paragraph with suitable supporting sentence. Now, thank you very much, and I will see you next time, inshallah.